The early 20th century was a time of immense change and upheaval, particularly in Asia. The once mighty Qing dynasty, which had ruled China for centuries, was crumbling from within, weakened by internal strife and external pressures. In 1911, the dynasty finally fell, ushering in a period of instability and fragmentation. Warlords vied for power, and a young republic struggled to find its footing. Meanwhile, across the East China Sea, Japan was undergoing a dramatic transformation of its own. Once a secluded feudal society, Japan had embraced modernization in the late 19th century, rapidly industrializing and building a powerful military. With its newfound might, Japan embarked on a path of imperial expansion, seeking to secure resources and establish dominance in Asia. Japan's growing ambitions brought it into direct conflict with China. The situation was a powder keg waiting to explode, and the fuse was lit on a seemingly ordinary summer night in 1937 at a seemingly insignificant bridge just outside the ancient city of Peking. The Marco Polo Bridge, also known as the Lugou Bridge, stood as a silent sentinel over the centuries, a testament to China's rich history and a vital link between Peking, the former imperial capital, and the outside world. By the 1930s, the Marco Polo Bridge had become a point of strategic contention. Located in a strategically important area southwest of Peking, the bridge controlled a key route to the city and was vital for both defense and communication. Following the occupation of Manchuria, Japan sought to expand its control over northern China, and the Marco Polo Bridge stood as a strategic obstacle to their ambitions. Japanese troops began conducting increasingly provocative maneuvers near the bridge, testing the resolve of the Chinese forces stationed there. The stage was set for a confrontation that would have far-reaching consequences. The night of July 7, 1937, descended upon the Marco Polo Bridge like any other, the air thick with summer humidity and the chirping of crickets. Unbeknownst to the soldiers stationed there, this seemingly ordinary night would mark a pivotal turning point in history, forever etching the bridge's name into the annals of warfare. As darkness enveloped the surrounding countryside, Japanese troops from the nearby Fengtai garrison were conducting night maneuvers, a common occurrence that had become increasingly frequent and provocative in the tense atmosphere. During these exercises, a Private Shimura Kikujiro of the Japanese army went missing, last seen near the Marco Polo Bridge. The Japanese, alleging that Private Shimura had been abducted by Chinese soldiers, demanded access to the nearby town of Wanping to search for their missing comrade. As tensions escalated, a shot rang out, its origin lost to the confusion and darkness. Section 4. From Skirmish to Inferno, the Marco Polo Bridge Incident ignites war. The initial exchange of fire at the Marco Polo Bridge, though brief, ignited a chain reaction that rapidly spiraled out of control. Both sides, fueled by suspicion, fear, and years of simmering resentment, rushed to reinforce their positions. What began as a localized skirmish quickly escalated into a full-blown military confrontation. The Japanese, using the disappearance of Private Shimura as a pretext, launched a full-scale attack on Wanping and the surrounding Chinese positions. The Chinese, determined to defend their territory and fueled by a surge of nationalist sentiment, fought back fiercely. Despite being outnumbered and outgunned, they inflicted heavy casualties on the Japanese, refusing to yield. News of the fighting spread like wildfire, igniting outrage and anti-Japanese sentiment throughout China. The Second Sino-Japanese War, a conflict that would last for 8 long years and claim millions of lives, had begun. Section 5. A World Engulfed, the Incident's Global Significance. The Marco Polo Bridge Incident, while seemingly a distant conflict in the Far East, sent shockwaves that reverberated around the world. It marked the beginning of the Second Sino-Japanese War, a conflict that would become deeply intertwined with the larger conflagration of World War II. The incident exposed the impotence of the League of Nations, already weakened by its failure to address earlier acts of aggression by Japan, Italy, and Germany. Despite condemning Japan's actions, the League offered no material support to China, further emboldening the aggressors and contributing to the global slide towards war. For the United States, the incident presented a strategic dilemma. Japan's aggression, coupled with its alliance with Nazi Germany, raised concerns about the rising tide of authoritarianism and militarism. The Marco Polo Bridge Incident served as a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of global affairs and the dangerous consequences of unchecked aggression. Section 6. Voices from the Abyss, Personal Stories of the Marco Polo Bridge Incident. The Marco Polo Bridge Incident, like all wars, was not merely a clash of armies and ideologies, it was a human tragedy that touched the lives of countless individuals, leaving an indelible mark on their souls. One such story is that of Wang Ming, a young Chinese soldier stationed at the Marco Polo Bridge on that fateful night. He recalled the chaos and terror of the initial Japanese attack, the deafening roar of gunfire and the sight of his comrades falling around him. Despite being wounded, Wang fought bravely, his courage fueled by a deep love for his country and a determination to resist the invaders. Another poignant story is that of Li Hua, a young woman living in a village near the bridge. She remembered the fear that gripped her family as the sound of gunfire shattered the night, forcing them to flee their home and seek refuge in the countryside. These personal accounts provide a glimpse into the human toll of the Marco Polo Bridge incident, reminding us that behind the statistics and battle maps lie individual lives forever altered by the horrors of war. Section 7. The Legacy of the Bridge, Remembrance and Lessons for the Future. The Marco Polo Bridge stands today as a solemn reminder of the fragility of peace and the devastating consequences of unchecked aggression. It is a place of remembrance where visitors from China and around the world come to pay their respects to the fallen, to reflect on the horrors of war, and to pledge to work for a more peaceful future. In China, the incident is commemorated annually as the start of the War of Resistance against Japan, a pivotal moment in the nation's history. The bridge itself has been preserved as a historical site, its bullet-scarred stones and reconstructed guard towers bearing silent witness to the events of that fateful night. The legacy of the Marco Polo Bridge incident extends far beyond the realm of history. It serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of nationalism, militarism, and the failure of diplomacy. It underscores the importance of dialogue, understanding, and cooperation in resolving international disputes.